Hey there, today I have a chair, so I'm probably way lower than I should be, but it doesn't matter, and I just looked back, I don't really know why. But today I'm gonna teach you how to make مسقعة, or how they say it in Greek, Moussaka, if I'm pronouncing it right. It's a really delicious eggplant meal, so stay tuned and let's start the video.
Let's cook American food. But it's not American food. Well, it's not American food.
Okay, before we start this recipe, make sure you wash your eggplant and your tomato and everything thoroughly. You want them to be clean. And before you start even preparing everything, go ahead and preheat your oven to 400 degrees. We're gonna do everything we can in the oven for this recipe just to keep it healthy. First, start by chopping your eggplant to small circles. I'm just gonna get rid of the edges because they're extra, and then just start cutting them into circles. Try to keep the thickness constant, so when it cooks in the oven, it cooks more evenly. I'm doing them about 1/4 of an inch, maybe a little bit more, like 1/6. 1/6 is not more, like not 1/3, it's about 1/4 of an inch. Trying to keep them constant. Can you cut them in another shape? Absolutely, I just like them circles. Why? Don't know. And yeah, don't worry, yes they are big right now, but they're gonna shrink in size when we cook them. This is a non-stick, but I'm just oiling it for extra non-stick. And go ahead and layer your eggplant. Then season them with a little bit of salt and a little bit of olive oil on top, because we're trying to kind of fry them, but not really. And by the way, they taste better when they are fried, but we're trying to make it healthy, so really up to you. Black pepper, just because I can. Alright, and this will go in your oven for 30 minutes, but really depend on how thick you cut them. Just make sure they are thoroughly cooked and not burned. So to the oven they go. Alright, step number 2, we're gonna worry about our meat. The meat is not gonna take a long time. You need an onion and a 1 pound of ground beef, preferably 80-20. 80 lean and 20% fat. You can use any other combination, but we really want more meat. So start with chopping your onion very finely. I'm gonna just shortcut it for myself and use my food processor for that. Well, after this step, we're gonna move to the stove, so I'm just gonna throw them in the pan right now. And let's put a little bit of olive oil in the pan. Add salt to it, that will help. Just a little bit more.
While your onion is salting in a high heat, let's go ahead and do our bechamel sauce. Start by melting 8 tablespoons of butter or 1 stick of butter, and then when it melts down, whisk it a little bit and add an equal part of flour, which means 8 tablespoons of flour. Alright, and then cook them a little bit together. We're not trying to burn the flour here or change the color. We still want that off-white, whitish color because that is the bechamel sauce color. When you cook it for a little bit, kill the heat off. After you kill the heat, add a little bit of your milk. We're gonna use a total of 2 cups of milk, but start with adding a little bit, like a splash or 2, just like what I'm doing, and whisk it a little bit, and then add a little bit more and whisk it. And then when it became like a solid chunk, like the one you're seeing right now, it's like more like a spread cream thingy, pour the rest of your milk. Remember, we don't have heat there. And then whisk it all until no more clumps are there. If you did it this way, you won't have clumps and you don't have to add a little bit of milk each time. And then when it's all smooth and then all together, swap it to a wood spoon or a silicone spatula. I'm using my silicone here because my wood spoon is doing the onion over there. And then mix it a little bit on a medium-low heat and keep it cooking with stirring now and then so the bottom doesn't burn until it thickens just like this. When it thickens just like this, kill the heat off and put it aside. You can season it with salt and pepper if you like. I know you're seeing the same video again, I'm sorry, but I was cooking them together at the same time. Alright, now I want you to focus on your right side where is your meat sitting. Alright, add your meat to your sauteed onion and cook it until half of it is cooked. And then when half of it is cooked, add your tomato sauce. When you add your tomato sauce, you want about a half cup of tomato sauce or depend on how much meat you have. And then just cook it and let the sauce reduce a little bit until it thickens a little bit, and add your salt and pepper or any seasoning you like. I try to keep it simple on this one with salt and pepper only.
Okay, they look ready to me. So now down to the assembly. We're gonna just make it as a lasagna. Layers, starting with a layer of your very hot eggplants. You want to get the very bottom layer really full, because it's gonna be the layer that is going to hold the stuff on top of it. Ha, smart. The bottom layer holding the layers on top of it. Yeah, genius. As if no one knows this information. Wow, you sir are way smarter than you thought. And then bring your meat and layer your meat on top of it. Oh, by the way, don't turn off your oven. Keep it at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Because this bad boy is going back to the oven for a finale. Smells good already. And then just top it with your eggplants, plants, whatever they call it. Yeah, probably here, go over there, you come down here. The moment you all were waiting for, we are going to pour our bechamel on top of it. Look how white color is this bechamel. This is how you want it. You don't want to cook it a lot. You don't want to make it look like a Cajun food. You want this milky, it's not milky, like this whitish, off-white, I guess milky color because we already poured milk in it. And just make sure you coat the whole thing as evenly as possible. I know what y'all are thinking. Isn't it gonna be easier if you went ahead and grabbed your spatula? Yeah, but I'm lazy. That's something you should know by now if you're watching me for a while. And if you're new here, please subscribe. It's ready. Now we're gonna put it in the oven for 10 minutes on 350 degrees, and then we're gonna switch it to broil for 5 minutes, or until it starts having a really beautiful crust on top.
And this is the final product. Look how beautiful it is. You can hear the sizzling sound in the background. Amazing. Thank you everyone for watching. Please like and subscribe and leave me a comment. Tell me what to cook next. I want some interaction with y'all, because y'all like 40 people who are watching my videos and none of y'all are commenting. Just write me something nice, write me something mean. Just write me something. I'm lonely, please. Alright, bye.